Yeah.
Money and fundraising. Wow. I'll just say up front that this piece that I want to share right now is one of the pieces that is really closest to my heart. So, you know, I feel like I have so much stuff I want to share, so that's kind of place of how to keep grounding myself down. Because at one level, it seems ridiculous that we've come to a conference, you sign up for a conference or for a training, and you've paid your own money or you're fundraising to come, and then we get here and we're talking about fundraising. That's not how it usually works in most conferences or most ways of working. And it is a very central piece of what we're doing here, so that's part of what I want to really talk about. And I also think that we all came to a training on race, gender, power, and class using the Be Present Empowerment Model. That could be, in a lot of things you sign up for, that's really what it is. You learn a model, you learn a little tool, and you go home and you do whatever you're going to do. But this feels so much bigger than that, because really what we're talking about here and the tools that we're learning here are really how can we line up the vision that we have for a just and an equitable world in how we actually behave in the world, from everything from our families to the organizations to social change to, you know, the global social change movement. So it is a little, you know, a one organization piece that we're a part of. That's true. And we're really part of something that's much bigger than that. And it's that connection between an organization and the big picture of how you actually live it out that really is the magic that's in Be Present, and it's really been the piece of my heart. So we're fundraising for Be Present, we're fundraising for this particular 18-month training in the conference, that's all true. And we're fundraising because the work that we're trying to do and how we're trying to learn to be in the world it's a shift. And it takes time to learn how to do that shift. And it also takes a diversity of people. It's the world. So really, how do we gather in circles that looks more like the world perhaps than my neighborhood does, for example? That's an important piece. It's a practice piece. And the way we're set up culturally does not encourage that. To get out of my neighborhood, I had to work to find more diversity in my life. That's not how things are set up. So it's just that glimpse of I'm part of something much, much bigger that this work is a key part of. So when I'm thinking of fundraising, it's all those levels at one time for me. And even Peggy, one of the things I thought was so beautiful about what happened yesterday morning was it was just one example of, that was a lot of time, spent about an hour on that conversation, which you thought, and I would have thought if it was me, is just a waste of time. But the difference of the impact of what it took, because we took an hour here, and then the call happened, that's what we're trying to learn how to do. How can we really be in the conversations and in the relationships and in the organizations that we're already in a way that actually brings movement and not destroys things? We have a lot of experience at the destroying. We're trying to do something very different. That's what we're fundraising for. And so
I was really in a distressed.
Absolutely.
I was totally in distress, and it was able to really turn it around. So that what I'm thinking now, and I was thinking about that now, is that hopefully I've just laid some seeds, whatever, for communication that would go on, you know, in a different way when I get home.
Exactly.
So it was from a distress to an opportunity, and that was really it was. But the interesting thing for me was how difficult it was for me to bring that in here. I mean, after sitting here for 10 years, you'd think it would be a no-brainer, wouldn't you? And I had 25 reasons not to bring it. Oh, well, you know, this is your stuff. Don't bring it in. I mean, when I had this dialogue, oh, wait a minute, what am I doing here? This is up for me. This is real. I can't do anything else. I have no choice.
Exactly, and I really think that is a place that really gets us stopped, because we think, oh, this is just a little
But
thing,
it's
just
the
one
voice-
person, it's
the
not a
voice-
big
Peggy, she's talking.
I'm sorry, yeah, excuse me.
Yeah, so I mean, it really is a piece of how we really change how we are in all the interactions that we're in, which really makes a difference. And once you've done it once, then it makes it easier to open the door again. So one of the pieces of how that happens, so to be in this circle, we have to pay ions and for our food and lodging. That's just that's how it works. So that's just what has to be paid. And then if we actually believe in justice, it's nice if the people who actually do all the planning in the organization, that there's, that they're funded. Now I know in nonprofits that's kind of somehow we think there's not economic justice in how we actually run nonprofits, which makes no sense at all. Really, that we're out there doing economic justice stuff and we're so unjust in how we fund, it's ridiculous. So that means we're talking about the hard costs, and we're talking about the costs of the organization to lead up to all that's involved in the expertise of being here. And then we even have another layer of the leadership team, of which, and what we have decided, so the leadership team is always met early. We also have calls, we also have work that we do ahead of time. But right now, what we're really trying to step into is really, how do we as leadership team, if we're going to be teaching a model, it's nice if we're actually doing it. But that's easier said than done. We've all talked about the fact we have this long history and whatever. But what does it really mean for me to lead outside of the distress of my oppression? That takes a little bit of work and preparation. So we have extended the length of time that we as a leadership team come here, because in order for us to be here to stand in that kind of leadership, we actually need our own leadership development in order to be able to be here for the folks who come. And that's really true then for the folks at the conference. So then there's extra expense. We're here for an entire week. We come on Monday. We tried being off-site. The amount of energy it took to do that and to come in, there's no way we could sustain that.
It was
11 of us, yeah. Right, exactly. So, I mean, we're talking about that there is a real budget out there for what it means to do this. And we're not all paying for that budget. I mean, the truth is, for a lot of different reasons, we're not all, we could do it. That's how it's typically done, I guess. Typically, that's how the cost is done. This is what it costs. This is what you're going to pay. And we'll have a few token scholarships that are available. So maybe 3 people will get to come who couldn't pay the full amount. That's really how it works. We're not doing that. We are really trying to have, we're not just trying, we're actually doing it, to have a diverse group of people and to cover the costs and to really do that in multiple ways. So that's the frame piece. So there are, so another way you could do it is that those people who can't afford it, it's their responsibility to go raise all that money. That's another place that it happens, is that you can go do all of that. And it is true that people who need to have money for their the cost and don't have access to it do fundraise. There is individual fundraising that's happening. It's already started. But that is the old world's model. Really what we're saying is we are all in this circle together. We all are benefiting from the diversity that's in this circle and the wisdom that's in this circle from all different places. And because of the work we're trying to do in the world, we're trying to do it, that is the way we have to be in the world, is all working together across all of our differences and across all the access that we have. So what that means is that collectively, we also are working at how we raise money to cover those costs. So all those things are what's coming together and why we're doing fundraising here. And of course, this is be present. So what we know is that talking about money and talking about fundraising often will raise some stuff. And we have some wonderful ways we're going to work with that. But what we know and be present is that we are going to raise the money, and we are going to have all those conversations of all the stuff that comes up within ourselves, within our fundraising, within our outreach, all of that stuff, so we can shift it and keep moving forward in the world. So it's for everything, it's this multi-layered piece, which is why it takes time, which is why we're here for 18 months. I mean, you can learn a lot in a weekend, but really 18 months to practice all this and to have a juicy place of fundraising in the middle of all the work that we're doing. It's a great doorway in to bring up every one of the issues that we
Race gender protocols, baby.
Exactly, every single one of them.
Yes.
Exactly. So So just the final little piece I wanted to say here is really what it means for me to step into this, and then Gene's gonna talk about what it means for him, because we all step in a different way. And so my piece is that I do have enough money to pay for the cost of the training, that's true. And, but the genius of the sliding scale is both that it spreads it so that everybody has access points in it, but it also, to me, is, I want to go the other direction, so let me see if there's a way I am not paying $2,000 a session because I'm helping out somebody else who doesn't have enough money. That is not what the sliding scale means. What the sliding scale means to me is that there's many different ways to look at equitable, and actually I'm paying less than most people who can't afford are paying. That's true. I write a $2,000 check. I notice it, but it's not like I have any problems with anything else. So really, the equitable piece is that I am paying much less than many other people in here are paying. So that's what the sliding scale is about. It's not about the old model of I'm helping out those poor folks who can't pay. That's not what it's about. Which is why I've always moved to get the sliding scale go higher, because really it stops at a certain level, and really some people income is higher than that. So really, what does it really mean for us each to pay? We each get to choose, nobody checks, but that's really important to me. And I've also wrestled with, so what's my household income? I have Howard and me, so is it half of what it is that we make? But really, our expenses are not double because we're married, so that really isn't it. I mean, I just wrestle with this, not just because for me it's good for me to wrestle with this. And then what does it mean that I come here early, so I have some extra expenses because I'm here for the leadership team part. So I want to cover that. I actually get a single room, which is very nice. So how do I work that out? And what does that sliding scale mean? I'm really getting 2 trainings a week, is what it feels like. So how do I work that piece out? And I thought Howard was going to come, so how do I not give so much that if we tried to come together, it would be, so it's a complex piece, but I think the point and the beauty of working with the sliding scale is really to be honest about what really works and what really fits, particularly for those of us on the upper end of that, and to be really out loud as I'm fundraising about the fact that in most places, I don't have to have anything to do with this, nothing. Because I'm giving extra, so that's really the end of my responsibility. But it is not. If we're talking about the world, it is I'm in it with everybody. So how to really talk about that when I'm fundraising. So those are my. Wow.